Welcome to Sweet Cherry Novel, where we share heartwarming, romantic love stories just for you. I am the only daughter of a bankrupt family. Before the company was liquidated, my parents hastily arranged 2 marriage prospects for me. The 2 families who came each brought their son. They both hoped I would choose their family for the alliance. My parents, their eyes red, asked me chokingly, "Darling, which family's son do you want to be engaged to?" I looked up at the 2 young men before me. Just as I was about to step towards the handsome, gentle man with the bright smile, lines of text suddenly flashed in my mind like bullet comments. Don't choose Nathan Pei. He's the male lead, his eyes and heart are only for the female lead, Mia Zhang. After the marriage, he'll treat you as invisible, and even make you give way to the female lead. Choose Julian Fu. He's the insane villain, outwardly gloomy and dangerous, but in reality, he's starved for love and longs for a family. If you become his marriage partner, he will cherish you in the palm of his hand, and he might even be reformed and escape his tragic fate. I lifted my head and looked towards the man in the black trench coat, his eyes hiding a dangerous aura, yet also a hint of loneliness. I walked towards him step by step, my fingers lightly touching his cold wrist. I asked softly, "Will you agree to a marriage alliance with me?" My parents' choked sobs still echoed in my ears. The crystal chandelier cast its light down, illuminating the 2 completely opposite men before me. On the left was Nathan Pei, wearing a perfectly tailored white suit, his eyes handsome, his smile gentle, looking just like the perfect male lead from an idol drama. On the right was Julian Fu in a long black trench coat, his collar turned up, obscuring half his face. A heavy, murderous aura emanated from between his brows. He held a cigarette between his fingertips, the red ember flickering, adding to his gloomy and dangerous demeanor. Logically, even a fool would know who to choose. Just as I was about to step towards Nathan, a dense barrage of bullet comments exploded in my head. "Wait, babe. Don't choose Nathan. That scumbag is the male lead, his heart only belongs to the White Lotus Mia Zhang. That's right, if you choose him, you'll just end up as cannon fodder. After marrying him, you'll be treated like thin air and he'll even help Mia Zhang suppress you. Run. Choose Julian Fu. He's an insane villain, but he's desperately lacking love. If you marry him, he'll spoil you to the heavens." Exactly. Even if the villain has a tragic end later, if you successfully guide him, you might change his fate. At least it's better than being jointly harmed to death by the male and female leads. Julian looks fierce, but towards the original female lead, he's extremely stubborn. Now that you have the first move, he will definitely treat you well. Nathan is a central air conditioner, nice to everyone. Whoever marries him is just unlucky. Choose Julian. The bullet comments were relentless. My feet froze. Lifting my head, I looked once more towards Julian. He seemed completely unbothered by this marriage alliance, merely looking down, his fingers toying with a lighter. His profile was sharp, his jaw intense, and beneath his lowered lashes hid an indiscernible loneliness, like an animal abandoned by the whole world. My heart skipped a beat. My gaze left Nathan's deceitful face. I turned and walked, step by step, until I was in front of Julian. The crisp sound of my high heels echoed, causing the entire living room to fall silent. All eyes turned to me, including the unconcealed astonishment on Nathan's face. When I stood before Julian, he finally raised his eyes. His dark eyes were like a deep, cold pool, swirling with unpredictable emotions, worriness, mockery, and even a bit of confusion. I ignored the gasps around me, nor did I pay attention to my parents' horrified stares. I placed my fingertips lightly on his cold wrist. His hand froze, the cigarette almost falling to the ground. Lifting my head to meet his face, which was now just inches away, I asked softly, "Will you agree to be engaged to me?" Oh my god, this girl is so brave, I love her. Ah, she chose the villain, I knew it. Look at Julian, he's stunned. He definitely didn't expect anyone to choose him. Look, Nathan's face has turned green. Her parents are also dumbfounded, probably thinking their daughter has gone mad. This is awesome. This is the plot I wanted to see. Breaking the mold. Julian's eyes locked onto me, his gaze dark and deep. After a few seconds, he suddenly let out a low, slightly sinister laugh. "Do you know who I am?" His voice was hoarse, like sandpaper on wood. "I know," I nodded. "Julian, do you know what kind of person I am?" he asked again. The tip of his finger was burned by the cigarette ash, but he didn't even flinch. He was testing me. "Babe, don't show any fear. Be tough. Say it directly, I know, but I choose you." I looked straight into his murderous eyes and replied slowly, "I know." I paused, then emphasized, "But I still want to choose you." Julian's pupils suddenly contracted. He stared at me, as if trying to determine if I was joking. After a long moment, he pulled his hand back and extinguished the cigarette in the ashtray. His movements were slow, yet carried an invisible pressure. He leaned close to my ear and whispered, "Since you've chosen me, don't regret it." His breath carried a faint scent of tobacco, not unpleasant but rather strangely captivating. Lifting my head, I smiled. "Absolutely not." Oh my God, this atmosphere, I'm going to faint. Julian's ears are turning red. He's actually been moved. This poor kid lacking love is so easily won over, crying, laughing. Look at Nathan. His face is as black as the bottom of a pot. Satisfying. I love this kind of face. Slapping scene. Hurry and do the engagement ceremony before something changes. Julian stood up straight and said nothing more, only nodding slightly towards my parents as a silent acknowledgement. My parents looked conflicted, but in this situation, they couldn't say anything more. After all, securing the family's help was already a great blessing. Nathan suddenly shot to his feet. His usual gentle smile vanished, replaced by unconcealed anger. "Eve Sue, do you have any idea what you are doing?" he questioned. I glanced at him, too lazy to even respond. What's wrong with Nathan? Who does he think he is? He's panicking. He's really panicking. He must have thought Eve was guaranteed to choose him, and now that she chose Julian, he's completely lost face. What a delusional man. Just ignore him. His type deserves to be put in his place. Julian stepped forward, casually shielding me behind him. His gaze was ice cold as he looked straight at Nathan. "Mr. Pei, is there a problem?" Overwhelmed by his aura, Nathan softened his tone, ultimately swallowing his anger. He just stared at me, as if blaming me for not knowing what was good for me. Hiding behind Julian, I silently gave him the middle finger. "Fantastic. Evie is so cool. That's the attitude we want. Nathan, how am I being scorned by a girl like this? He probably thinks he's some priceless, eligible bachelor. How could he be rejected so brutally? It's fine, just let him regret this later." The engagement ceremony was very quick, without many formalities. Julian had his assistant draft the contract directly. He didn't even bother to read it before signing his name at the bottom, his handwriting bold and powerful. Then he passed the pen to me. I took it and signed the name. Eve Sue. The ink falling onto the page without hesitation. After signing, Julian's assistant presented a velvet box. He opened it, and inside was a diamond ring as large as a pigeon's egg, perfectly cut, sparkling so brightly under the lights it was hard to look at. Oh my God. That ring. Julian really went all out. That has to be at least 8 figures, if not more. Someone guessed Nathan would, at most, give a ring with a pea-sized diamond, while Julian looks like he spent his entire fortune. Truly, when a villain spoils someone, it's on another level. If you're going to spoil, you must be extravagant. Hurry and try it on, see if it fits. Julian picked up the ring and gently lifted my hand. His fingertips were slightly cold, but his movements were surprisingly gentle. The ring slid smoothly onto my ring finger, a perfect fit, as if it had been custom made for me long ago. I looked up at him, and at that exact moment his gaze met mine. Those eyes, usually filled with a murderous aura, now held a faint, ambiguous ripple. It was very faint, but it was real. I'm eating dog food. I'm totally full. This gaze, this action. Julian definitely had feelings for Evie from the beginning. I said it. There's no way the villain wouldn't be moved when faced with such a beautiful marriage partner. Nathan is green in the face over there. He's probably wondering why Eve would rather choose the insane Julian over him. Because Evie has the bullet comments. Knowing the future, who would pay attention to him anymore? The engagement ceremony concluded. Julian offered to take me home. I had just gotten into the car when Nathan suddenly ran up. "Eve, wait." He had put his familiar gentle expression back on, but his voice carried an ill-concealed anxiety. "Have you really thought this through? Julian is not a good person. You won't have a good ending if you go with him. There he goes again. Who gave him the right to interfere? Does he think he's some kind of saint? If you're just bitter about not being chosen, just say it. Why pretend to be nice?" "Evie, shut him down quickly," I replied indifferently. "My affairs are no concern of Mr. Pei." "Eve," Nathan frowned. "I'm only doing this for your own good. Julian, what?" I didn't know when Julian had walked over. One hand was in his pocket, the other wrapped around my waist, pulling me close to him. His gaze was ice cold as he stared at Nathan. Mr. Pei, pointing fingers and criticizing someone else's fiancé. "I'm afraid that's rather inappropriate." His voice wasn't loud, but the pressure he exuded made one's hair stand on end. Nathan's expression flickered, clearly stung by the words, "someone else's fiancé." He clenched his fists, trying hard to suppress his anger. "Julian, don't be so smug." Julian just gave a disdainful sneer, not bothering to reply. He wrapped his arm tighter around me and firmly guided me into the car. Slam. The car door shut, blocking all outside gazes. Inside the car, it was quiet, save for the soft hum of the air conditioner. Julian sat beside me, resting with his eyes closed. In the dim light, The sharp lines of his profile seemed to soften slightly. I looked at him, suddenly recalling the recent bullet comments. Julian protecting his lover like this. My heart is melting. Of course. Even if they aren't married, a wife must be protected. Nathan is nothing but a dancing clown. He needs to look in the mirror. I wonder where Julian plans to take Evie. Straight home. Of course. They just got engaged. Why wouldn't they take the opportunity to cultivate their feelings? Oh, look at his ears. They're red again. He's nervous. As I was staring, Julian suddenly opened his eyes, his gaze locking directly onto mine. My heart skipped. I quickly looked away. He chuckled softly. Sen enough. His husky voice echoed in the quiet car, so clear it made my ears burn. I blushed slightly and didn't answer. Caught in the act. Evie got caught staring. Aha, Evie is embarrassed. How adorable. That comment from Julian was clearly teasing. It seems he isn't that unapproachable after all, at least not with Evie. Julian didn't press the issue. He took a small box from his pocket. This is for you. I was stunned, took it, and opened it. Inside was a necklace. The pendant was a small black heart, outlined with tiny diamonds. The design was simple yet exquisite. Another gift. Julian treats Evie like a treasure he needs to spoil. This speed, this effectiveness, he leaves Nathan in the dust 100 times over. A black heart. It matches Julian's aura perfectly. Cool and sweet. Quick, put it on. Make him put it on you. I looked up and met his gaze, which held a trace of expectation. Do you like it? I nodded. It's beautiful. He gestured slightly, telling me to move closer. I hesitated for a moment but still leaned towards him. He carefully unfastened the clasp and reached around my neck. His fingers occasionally brushed against my skin, bringing a cool sensation that made my heart flutter slightly. His movements were extremely gentle and focused, as if he were handling a priceless treasure. After fastening it, his fingers lightly brushed the heart-shaped pendant. He said in a low voice, "From now on, you are my person." His voice was deep and firm, allowing no room for doubt. My heart skipped another beat. Just as I was about to speak, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I answered it. A female voice so sweet it was almost cloying came from the other end. "Excuse me, is this Miss Eve Su?" I frowned. "Who is this?" "I'm Mia Zhang." Hearing that name, everything became clear. The original female lead had finally appeared. Oh my god. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Mahjong. This White Lotus has finally entered the fray. Nathan must have tattled to her, that's why she's calling to stir up trouble. Let's hear what kind of drama she's trying to start. Evie, don't hold back, put her in her place. Mia Zhang's voice remained sugary sweet, almost clingy. Sister Eve, I heard you got engaged to Mr. Fu. Yes, is there a problem? I replied nonchalantly, my voice cool. Oh, it's nothing major. She giggled. I just wanted to congratulate you. However, her tone suddenly changed, carrying a hard-to-detect trace of arrogance. Mr. Fu doesn't have a very good temper. You'll have to be very careful in the future. He's not like Mr. Pei. Nathan is so gentle to everyone. I knew she would say that. Such typical provocation. What does she mean by that? Is she implying Evie chose the wrong person? And she didn't forget to praise Nathan. Isn't she just saying Evie made the wrong choice? The schemes of a White Lotus are truly endless. It's nauseating. Evie, tell her off. Let her know who Julian's fiancé is. Before I could even open my mouth, Julian, who was beside me, reached over and took my phone. His long fingers pressed the speakerphone button. He stared straight ahead, his voice ice cold. My temperament. Is it your place to judge? On the other end of the line, Mia Zhang was clearly stunned, not expecting it to be Julian's voice. Immediately after, her voice was tinged with a sense of grievance. Mr. Fu, I didn't mean it like that. You didn't mean it like that. Then what did you mean? Julian cut her off coldly. Are you trying to sow discord? Or do you think I'm easy to bully? His voice was heavy, carrying a suffocating killing intent. Mia Zhang on the other end trembled, her voice stammering, I didn't. It's good you didn't. He lowered his voice, enunciating every word clearly. From now on, stay far away from my fiancé. If I hear one more ridiculous word, I can't guarantee what I'll do. After saying that, he hung up the phone. The action was neat and decisive. Oh my god, he's exploding with coolness. Julian is so domineering. Total protection of his beloved wife. That was a great shutdown. A White Lotus like Mia Zhang needs to be treated exactly like that. Mia Zhang must be frightened to tears. Haha, serves her right. If Nathan knew his darling Mia Zhang got yelled at like that by Julian, he'd probably die of anger. Julian is a true man. Evie chose correctly. I looked at him, slightly surprised. He had actually stepped forward for me, protecting me in front of Mia Zhang. He caught my gaze, tilted his head slightly, and his expression softened. In the future, don't pay any mind to people like that. Okay. I nodded lightly, but a warm current spread through my heart. Aha, he's so gentle, I'm dying. This contrast. He's so fierce with others but as gentle as water with Evie. I'm declaring this ship locked, and I'm throwing away the key. Julian is the absolute standard of a wife, doting demon. I'm looking forward to what's next. There's definitely going to be some top-tier slapping drama. The car quickly stopped in front of my apartment building. Julian walked me all the way to my door. He looked at me, seeming to want to say something, but in the end, he just said softly, "Go to sleep early." "You too." I nodded. He looked at me for another moment before turning to leave. Watching his back as he got into the car, I lightly touched the necklace at my throat. The corners of my mouth lifted unconsciously. Choosing him, perhaps it really wasn't a mistake. Evie smiled. She definitely realizes Julian is a good guy. Obviously. After he defended her like that, who wouldn't be moved? Just wait, Nathan and Mia Jiang definitely aren't done yet. But with Julian around, they won't stand a chance. I can't wait for tomorrow. I wonder if Julian will come to pick Evie up again. Absolutely. It's such a perfect opportunity, how could he pass it up? I turned and entered my apartment. Just as I closed the door, my phone pinged again. It was a text message from Nathan. "Eve, Mia Jiang is still young and sometimes speaks without thinking. Don't stoop to her level." I looked at the message and let out a cold laugh. Young. Thoughtless. She didn't seem immature or thoughtless at all when she called just now. She was clearly doing it on purpose. And Nathan still wanted to defend her. What a scumbag, willing to lose all dignity for that white lotus. He must really look down on Evie, even wanting her to just tolerate it. Tolerate what? Evie, fight back. I directly typed 2 words, "Get lost." Then, I blocked his number. Out of sight, out of mind. The moment I pressed the block button for Nathan, the noisy comments in my head nearly deafened me. Beautifully done. That's how it should be. Show him who's in charge. If Nathan sees those 2 words, his face must be cramping from anger. Haha. Even through the screen, I can imagine him swallowing his bitterness. So satisfying. This is the female lead we want to see, not taking any abuse. I tossed my phone onto the sofa. I was just about to get a glass of water when the doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. It was Julian. Why was he back again? I opened the door. He was standing right outside holding a thermos. The streetlight cast a glow on him, tinting his cold aura with a few shades of gentleness. "Forgot to give this to you." He held the thermos out to me. "What is it?" "Auntie said your stomach isn't very good." His voice was indifferent. "I had Uncle Zhang make some nourishing soup for you." I was momentarily stunned. He remembered that. It was true, during the engagement, my mother had mentioned it once to the Fu family. I took the thermos, my fingertips accidentally brushing his wrist. It was still cold as ever. "Thank you." He replied softly, but didn't leave immediately. After a few seconds of silence, he suddenly spoke. "I'll come pick you up tomorrow." "Pick me up? To go where?" "To get the marriage certificate." "What the hell, that fast? Julian, are you a rocket? We just got engaged yesterday, and we're registering for marriage today." This is what I like, no messing around. While Nathan is still sulking, this guy is getting an official license to operate. Aha, Nathan will probably cough up blood when he hears this news. I blinked rapidly. That soon. It has to be done sooner or later. He looked at me, his eyes serious. "Tying you to my side sooner is the only way I'll feel at ease." His words were so blunt and domineering, yet I found them a little sweet. Tying her to his side. That line sounds like a wild wolf, but I love it. Julian is maxed out on security. He's just afraid the female lead will run away. He's definitely fallen for her, otherwise why would he be in such a hurry? Agree quickly. Go get the certificate tomorrow and blind them all. All right. I nodded. He didn't seem to expect me to agree so quickly. A trace of surprise flashed in his eyes. Immediately after, the corners of his lips quirked up slightly, revealing a very faint, brief smile, like melting ice. "Then I'll pick you up at 8 a.m. tomorrow." "Okay." He looked at me for a few more seconds, as if trying to engrave my image into his memory, before turning to leave. I closed the door and opened the thermos. Inside was thick millet congee, with a faint, light herbal scent. The temperature was just right. I took a spoonful. It was warm and incredibly comforting. Uncle Zhang's cooking isn't bad at all. Julian is so meticulous, even the temperature is perfectly controlled. He was probably afraid the congee would be too hot and burn her, or too cold and upset her stomach, so he must have given specific instructions. Boo ho ho, if the villain is this amazing, how is he even a villain? He's clearly a warm-hearted hunk. Compared to Nathan who only knows how to mock people, Julian is a god-tier boyfriend. The next morning at 7:30, just as I finished washing my face, my phone rang. It was Julian. "So early?" I checked the clock. "Afraid you wouldn't wake up." His voice held a hint of amusement. I'm downstairs. Brought breakfast. Even brought breakfast. What kind of fiancé is this? He's too thoughtful. He beats my own boyfriend 100 times over. Your man is here, hurry down. Don't keep the villain boss waiting. I changed, grabbed my bag and ran downstairs. His car was parked right by the building. He was leaning against the car, wearing a black shirt with the sleeves rolled up to his elbows, revealing strong forearms. The early morning sun shone on him, softening the sharp edges of his brows. He held 2 bags of breakfast. Seeing me, he immediately stood up straight. You're up. He opened the car door and handed me the fresh, hot breakfast. In the bag were soy milk and pork buns. Exactly what I like. How did he know the female lead likes this? Did he investigate her beforehand? Definitely. How could it be such a coincidence? Julian, step 1 in wooing a wife: know her tastes. I give this move full marks. How did you know I like these? I couldn't help but ask. A guess. His eyes flickered and he didn't explain further. I didn't press it. Getting into the car, he handed me a bottle of warm water. Drink some water first. Okay. The car ride was very smooth. He didn't speak and neither did I, but it wasn't awkward at all. Instead, there was an indescribable feeling of warmth. This is so peaceful. This scene is exactly like a married couple of many years. Oh God, please grant me a Julian like this. Dream on. Julian belongs to the female lead. We arrived at the Civil Affairs Bureau. It wasn't crowded. Soon, it was our turn. When we took the photo, the photographer told us to stand closer. Julian naturally wrapped his arm around my waist, pulling me closer. His hand was steady, giving me a sense of security. Smile. The photographer instructed. I pursed my lips slightly. Julian bent his head, whispering close to my ear. Don't be nervous. You look beautiful when you smile. His warm breath tickled my ear, and my face flushed. By reflex, the corners of my mouth curled up. Click. The photo was done. The moment he held the red marriage certificate booklet, Julian's knuckles turned white from his tight grip, as if he were holding the entire world. The red booklet is here. Congratulations to the female lead and CEO Fu on being officially licensed. His reaction is so real. He's like a kid who just got candy. Must be so excited. The woman he's dreamed of, even if he's only known her for 2 days, has become his legal wife. From now on, the female lead is officially Mrs. Fu. Exiting the Civil Affairs Bureau, he carefully tucked the booklet into his inner pocket and then took my hand. His palm was slightly cool but dry. He held it very tightly. Hungry? He asked. A little. I'll take you to eat. He took me to a private restaurant. The private room was already reserved. The food was quickly served. It was all my favorite dishes. Her favorites again. How much did he investigate the female lead? He must have had his assistant do a thorough investigation last night. This is how a villain pursues his wife: direct, efficient, precise. How did you know I like these dishes? I asked again. He placed a piece of spare rib in my bowl, his voice casual. I guess again. I raised an eyebrow but didn't ask more. He's clearly just being stubborn. Haha. The big villain boss can be shy too. It's fine, as long as the female lead understands in her heart. Being cherished by someone like this. I'd die of happiness. While we were eating, my phone rang. It was my mom, Evie. Did you and Mr. Fu go get your certificate? Yes, we just finished. Oh my, why so fast? But it's good. Mom can see that Mr. Fu is sincere with you. She hesitated, her voice a bit awkward. Just now Mrs. Pei called. She said Nathan is sick from anger and asked if you could visit him when you have time. Nathan's sick? What a coincidence. I think it's a sickness of the heart. He's probably sick with anger from seeing the female lead get married. Mrs. Fu is really something. Her own son is worthless, and she still wants to drag the female lead over. Don't go. Let him die for all we care. Female lead, don't get involved. It's all a trap. I frowned. I'm not free. Mom. I interrupted. I am Julian's wife now. I have no relationship with Nathan anymore. Whether he's sick or not has nothing to do with me. Mom was silent for a few seconds. Yes, Mom wasn't thinking clearly. It's okay. I hung up. Julian looked at me. The Pei family. Mom said Nathan is sick with anger and wants me to go see him. He let out a cold laugh. He's faking it. Heroes think alike. Julian sees right through him. Nathan is definitely faking illness to gain sympathy, trying to lure Evie over so he can sow discord. Good thing Evie didn't agree, or she would have fallen into the trap. I know. I nodded. From now on, you done? You need to pay any attention to their family's affairs. His voice was deep, carrying an authority that allowed no rebuttal. As long as I'm here, no one can force you to do anything you don't want to. That sentence was like a tranquilizer, making my heart gradually warm up. Phrasey wife protection mode is online again. As long as I'm here. Oh my God, that phrase makes me feel so safe I could cry. Boo-hoo-hoo, I want a husband like this too, who can protect me for a lifetime. Julian is a god in my heart. After lunch, Julian Fu took me to the Fu family's old residence, saying he wanted me to get familiar with it. The Fu family's old house was huge, a traditional courtyard-style home. The courtyard was filled with many flowers, all meticulously cared for. An old woman with white hair sat rocking in a wicker chair, holding a string of prayer beads. Seeing us enter, she looked up, her gaze landing on me, full of scrutiny. This must be Julian's grandma. She looks so strict. I wonder if she'll give Evie a hard time. This is so nerve-wracking. Grandma meets the new granddaughter-in-law on the spot. Julian, quick, protect Evie. Julian held my hand tightly and led me to the old woman. Grandma. She responded softly, her eyes still on me. This is Eve Sue. My wife, he introduced, his voice serious. We just registered our marriage today. The old woman's eyes narrowed slightly. That fast? Yes, I'm sure. I don't want to reconsider. No need to reconsider. His gaze was resolute as he looked at me. I've already decided on her. Oh my god, I'm dying of sweetness. Julian is too amazing. Protecting Evie like this even in front of his grandma. Grandma looks strict, but she's probably not a difficult person. I hope Grandma likes Evie and doesn't make things hard for her. The old woman looked at me for a long time, then suddenly smiled. All right. Since it's your choice, Grandma won't say any more. She pushed herself up and walked over, taking my hand. Her hands were dry and rough but warm. Child, from now on, you are part of the Fu family. She patted my hand gently. Julian's temper isn't good, but his heart isn't bad. He just lacks affection. From now on, you two must live well and take care of each other. Grandma is so easy to talk to. I knew it. The Fu family can't have bad taste. Grandma is spot on. Julian is only like that because he lacks love. Evie needs to love him more. Boo-hoo. Evie is finally being accepted by family. It wasn't easy. A warmth suddenly spread in my heart. Thank you, Grandma. Good girl. She smiled more kindly. Come, Grandma prepared a meeting gift for you. She led me into a room and took out an exquisite wooden box. Inside was a translucent, emerald green jade bracelet. One look and you could tell it was incredibly valuable. This is a Fu family heirloom, passed down to the daughters-in-law. She slipped the bracelet onto my wrist. Wear this. From now on, you are the rightful second young mistress of the Fu family. The cool jade felt comfortable against my skin. The family heirloom jade bracelet. This is the highest form of recognition. The Fu family is truly so good. They don't look down on the Su family's bankruptcy at all. Compared to the Vane Pei family, the Fu family are angels. Evie married the right person, a good husband and good in-laws. Julian stood beside me, his gentle gaze fixed on my wrist. Grandma looked at us, nodding in satisfaction. All right, you two young people go ahead. I won't bother you anymore. After leaving the old house, Julian drove me to his company. I want to show you where I work. His company was located in the tallest office building in the city center. As soon as we entered the lobby, everyone greeted him respectfully. Good day, CEO Fu. He didn't bother to reply, just held my hand and walked straight into the elevator. Such a domineering aura. A true villain boss. The whole company is afraid of him, but he's only gentle with Evie. This contrast. I'm obsessed. Quick, show me the big boss's office. Is it as cold as he is? The elevator went straight to the top floor. The office was huge, decorated in a simple black and white theme. It was indeed cold, but by the window, there was a large sofa, and on it sat a pink throw pillow, which looked extremely out of place. Whose pink pillow is this? Could it be that Julian prepared it specially for Evie? Definitely. Otherwise, what man would keep a pink pillow in his office? Haha, does the big villain boss have a girly heart too? He seemed to notice my gaze and glanced over. His ears turned slightly red. The assistant bought the wrong one. Such a stubborn excuse. He clearly prepared it for Evie. He just wants her to be comfortable while sitting here. Oh my god, so cute. This hard on the outside, soft on the inside, type is adorable. I didn't expose him, just walked over to the sofa and sat down. He poured me a glass of water. Sit and rest. I need to handle some work. Okay. He returned to his desk and focused on his documents. When he worked, the aggressive aura between his brows softened, replaced by a focused, serious expression. His angled features were still cold, but they exuded a captivating, forbidden charm. I looked at him, momentarily mesmerized. A man is most handsome when he's working. A serious Julian is just too captivating. This face, this physique, this capability. He's the perfect male god. Evie really lucked out. As I was staring, he suddenly looked up, catching my gaze. I jumped, quickly looking away. He chuckled softly. Am I that good looking? That line again. My face heated up and I didn't answer him this time. Evie, just say yes, he's handsome. Julian is doing it on purpose. He just wants to hear Evie praise him. Aha, he must be very confident in his own charm. He didn't ask again, lowering his head to continue working. But the faint smile at the corner of his lips lingered. By noon he finally finished his work. Hungry? A little. Let's go, I'll take you to eat. We had just reached the door when his assistant hurried over. CEO Fu downstairs. Mr. Pei and Miss Zhang are here. They say they want to see you. Why are they here again? They must have heard that Evie and Julian registered their marriage and are here to make trouble. Nathan and Mia Zhang are like lingering ghosts. It's good they came. Let them get a good look at Evie and Julian's marriage certificate. Blind their eyes. Julian frowned, his voice ice cold. I'm not seeing them. But the assistant looked troubled. They said it's very important. And, they said Miss Zhang is feeling unwell and must see you. This trick again. Mia Zhang is faking illness for sympathy. She learned it from Nathan. That whole family is full of actors. Julian, don't mind them. Have security throw them out. His gaze turned even colder. Have security throw them out. Yes. The assistant was about to leave when I suddenly spoke. Wait. He turned to look at me. What is it? Let's see them. I smiled faintly. After all, we have to let them know who I belong to now. Evie's ready to make a big move. I love it. That's right. Show them how well Evie is doing now. Let them know what they missed out on. Sitting and waiting for the face, slapping. Slap them hard. He looked at the smile on my lips, silent for a few seconds, then nodded. All right. He held my hand tightly, his voice laced with a hint of indulgence. Go if you want. But don't get your hands dirty. Don't get your hands dirty. Oh my God, that line is so sweet. It means Evie doesn't even need to lift a finger to deal with them. He'll handle everything. Boo ho ho, wife protection level max. I'm so jealous. We went downstairs together. In the lobby, Nathan and Mia Zhang were standing there. Nathan wore a white shirt, still maintaining his gentle, jade-like appearance. Mia was nestled against his chest, her face pale, looking as fragile as if a gust of wind could blow her over. Seeing us come down, Nathan's eyes lit up. He immediately let go of Maya and hurried towards us. Julian. Eve. His gaze stopped on our intertwined hands. Julian's hand tightened slightly, pulling me behind him. His eyes were like ice. What is it? The smile on Nathan's face stiffened. He probably didn't expect Julian to be so blunt. He cleared his throat, his tone carrying a hard-to-detect probing. I heard, you two have registered your marriage. Julian didn't answer. He just slowly pulled the red booklet from his pocket and waved it lightly in front of his face. The movement was unhurried, yet held a deep, sarcastic sting. Oh my God, Julian is too awesome. Waving the red book right in his face to blind him. Nathan, I see it, but I'll pretend I don't. This is how it's done. Shatter his last shred of hope. Sure enough, Nathan's face paled several shades. He clenched his fists and forced a smile. Congratulations. He paused, then turned to look at me, his voice filled with grievance. Eve, do you really not want to reconsider? Izzy's sick. We're already married, what's there to reconsider? Did his brain get caught in a door? I haven't even said anything yet. Julian put the booklet away, his ice-cold gaze fixed on him. Mr. Pei, trying to poach someone right in front of her husband. I'm afraid that's not a very good look, is it? Nathan's face turned even whiter. Don't misunderstand. I didn't mean it like that. Then what did you mean? Julian took a step forward, his aura oppressive. Do you think I'm easy to bully? Or do you think my wife is blind? So satisfying, he said it straight. Julian's combat power is level max. Nathan is speechless now, isn't right? Just then, Mia Jing let out a soft cry, her body went limp, and she almost fell. Nathan quickly caught her. Mia, what's wrong? She nestled into his chest, her face as pale as paper. Her tear-filled eyes looked up at Julian, her voice trembling with grievance. Mr. Fu, I didn't mean to bother you. I heard that Sister Eve married you and I felt uncomfortable. I know I shouldn't have come, but I couldn't help it. I want to puke. What a cheap drama. Uncomfortable. What right does she have to feel uncomfortable? Dream on. Julian only has eyes for Evie now. Julian didn't even spare her a glance, his gaze like he was looking at something filthy. Are you done? Mia Zhang trembled at his ice-cold tone, and tears immediately rolled down her cheeks. Mr. Fu, if you're done, then get lost. He cut her off, his voice filled with killing intent. Don't stand here being an eyesore. Oh my God, hearing the words get lost is so satisfying. Yes, with this kind of White Lotus, you just have to be blunt. Nathan's face darkened. Julian, don't go too far. Mia isn't feeling well. Her not feeling well has what to do with me. He laughed coldly. Even if she dropped dead on the street, it has nothing to do with me. Damn, so cool. Nathan must be furious. Nathan's voice softened. Mia Jong started sobbing harder, clutching his shirt, choking out, "Nathan, don't say anymore. It's my fault. I shouldn't have come. Let's just go." She said that, but her eyes kept stealing glances at Julian, as if hoping he would soften. She thinks she's his white moonlight. Keep dreaming. In Julian's eyes, she's nothing but a joke. But he paid her no mind, not even a single glance. He looked down at me, his tone suddenly softening. "Hungry yet? Let's go up and eat." I nodded. He took my hand and calmly walked past them, treating them as if they were invisible, ignoring them completely. That's more humiliating than cursing them. Nathan and Mia Jong must want to crawl into a hole. We had only taken a few steps when Mia Jong suddenly screamed. "Hey!" She stumbled and lunged towards me, her target clearly the jade bracelet on my wrist. Shit, what is she trying to do? Snatch the bracelet or fall onto Eve to frame her? Julian's eyes were sharp, his reaction incredibly fast. He pulled me aside and, at the same time, kicked her straight in the knee. Mia Jong let out a terrible scream and collapsed to the ground, a truly pathetic sight. Oh my god, so handsome. A perfect kick. Serves her right. You wanted to fake a fall. Now you can have a real one. Nathan's expression changed drastically. He hurried to help her up. "Mia, are you okay?" Tears streamed down her face as Mia Jong tremblingly pointed at Julian. You dare hit me." His eyes were ice cold. "If you dare touch her again, it won't be just a kick." The killing intent in his voice made the surrounding air freeze. Mia Jong was so frightened she couldn't speak, only sobbing brokenly in Nathan's arms. I love this kind of threat. Anyone who dares touch his wife, he'll destroy them. Nathan looked up, furious. "Julian, you're going too far. Mia was just being careless." "Careless," he sneered. "Careless, yet aiming straight for my wife's hand." He took another step forward, his aura exploding. "Nathan, I'm warning you, keep your woman in line. If she dares to pull any shady moves on my wife again, the Pei family, I will make it disappear completely." Damn, now that's a warning. If Julian says it, he'll definitely do it. Nathan must be scared green. Sure enough, his face was white as a sheet. Everyone knew Julian never made idle threats. He opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but ultimately couldn't utter a word. He could only grit his teeth, help Mia Jong up, and say, "Let's go." Mia Jong was still sobbing as he dragged her away. As they reached the door, she looked back, glaring at me with eyes full of hatred. That look is terrifying. She clearly hates Evie now. Whatever, with Julian here, she can't do anything. Watching their pathetic figures retreat, I let out a soft laugh. Julian looked down at me. "What are you laughing at? They just don't know their own limits." He reached out and gently pinched my cheek, his voice tinged with indulgence. "From now on, when you meet people like that, don't bother with them." Oh my god, he pinched her cheek. Hearing that indulgent tone, I'm gonna faint. They're clearly genuinely in love now, not just a marriage alliance. Back in the office, Julian immediately had his assistant call a doctor. The doctor carefully examined my hand and confirmed I wasn't injured. Only then did Julian breathe a sigh of relief. He was that worried about Evie. It was just a small incident, and he got this worked up. This is deep love. I'm so jealous. Stay away from them in the future. He frowned, instructing me in a low voice, "Especially that Mia Jong girl, her heart isn't pure." "I know." Hungry, he changed the subject. I already had Uncle Jong prepare lunch and bring it over. As soon as he finished speaking, the assistant wheeled in a food cart. 4 dishes and a soup, all my favorites. There was even a portion of the nourishing congee for my stomach. Uncle Jong is amazing. Julian is so thoughtful. He even remembers about Evie's stomach issue. With a husband like this, who would still want that scumbag Nathan. Evie is so happy. After eating, Julian went back to work. I sat on the sofa scrolling through my phone, only to stumble right onto an entertainment news headline. Hair to Pay Group, Nathan, intimate with mysterious beauty. Good news expected soon. I clicked on it. The photos were of Nathan and Mia Jong. They were taken right outside the Fu Group building. In the photos, Nathan was holding a sobbing Mia Jong, his gaze as gentle as water. The caption read, "Young Master Pei is extremely doting on this girl. It seems he has found the one." The comment section exploded. "Who is this girl? She looks so pure." "I think that's Mia Jong, a new rising starlet. Young Master Pei really has good taste. She looks so gentle and virtuous, way better than that Miss Sue. I heard the Sue family went bankrupt. She still tried to climb the social ladder, but young Master Pei rejected her." Exactly. Why would young Master Pei bother with a bankrupt missy? Are these netizens blind? Virtuous? They must be looking at the wrong picture. Mia Jong, that fake white lotus, is worthy. How dare they step on Evie? So shameless. It's clearly a press release from Nathan and Mia Jong, trying to whitewash themselves. I looked at those words feeling calm. The innocent will be proven innocent. But the bullet comments in my head were exploding again. I'm furious. How dare they talk about Evie like that? Nathan and Mia Jong are disgusting. Being the third party and still having the nerve to step on the original wife. Wrong. Evie is Mrs. Fu now. Her status is 100 times higher than theirs. Quick, show Julian. Let him handle these liars. I don't know when Julian had come to my side. He leaned over, glanced at my phone screen, and his gaze immediately turned ice cold. Do I need to handle this? No need. I looked up and smiled. This is a small matter. It's not your turn to step in yet. Evie is going to handle it herself. I love it. She's getting cooler and cooler. We have to show them Evie is not to be bullied. Sitting and waiting for the epic counter-attack, I opened my contacts and found a paparazzi I knew from before. I sent a message. Want a hot scoop? Nathan and Mia Jong caused trouble at the Fu group. Mia Jong tried to harm the CEO's wife and was kicked to the ground by CEO Fu. I attached a few photos I had secretly taken. In the photos, Mia Jong was kneeling on the ground, Nathan looked furious, and Julian was shielding me. The paparazzi replied instantly. Is this real? This is a massive scoop, I replied. It's real, post it. Evie is a genius. Using their own tactic against them. Let them taste what it's like to be flamed by netizens. Post it quickly. I've got my popcorn ready. Soon enough, a new headline appeared. Shocking reversal, Nathan Pei brings Mia Jiang to cause trouble at Fu Group. Mia Jiang attempts to harm CEO's wife, gets kicked on the spot. The content was detailed and included the photos I sent. The comment section exploded again. That plot twist was fast. Mia Jiang tried to harm the CEO's wife. Is she crazy? CEO's wife. Julian's wife. I thought he wasn't married. Are you living under a rock? CEO Fu and Miss Eve Su just registered their marriage today. Miss Eve Su is the one you were all just stepping on, the bankrupt Missy. No, she's Mrs. Fu, Julian's woman. Oh my god, Julian is married, and to Miss Eve Su. Then what does that make Mia Jong? A willing third party. How vicious. I actually thought she was pure just now. Nathan is no good either, ganging up with the mistress to bully the original partner. Aha, a complete reversal. The netizens finally woke up. Nathan and Mia Jong's reputations must be in tatters. This is what happens when you mess with Evie. One move to take down the opponent. So cool. Seeing the public opinion shift, I put my phone away, satisfied. Julian sat down next to me, reaching out to stroke my hair, his voice laced with amusement. Getting more formidable. Of course. I raised an eyebrow. Don't you see whose wife I am? He let out a low chuckle. The sound rumbled from his chest, giving me a strange sense of peace. Perfect answer. Not just anyone's wife could be this cool. It's because Evie is Mr. Fu's wife. Julian smiled. He's so handsome when he smiles. It's so sweet I could die. I'm shipping this couple so hard. He slowly relaxed. His stiff fingers gently took my hand. The grip was very light, carrying a barely perceptible tremor. He's holding her hand. Julian looks calm as a mountain on the outside, but his heart must be pounding. Aha, his reaction is so real, like a teenager experiencing his first crush. Quick, take the next step. Hug her. The night was very still. Only the sound of our breathing could be heard. He didn't let go of my hand, his palm gradually warming up. I don't know how much time passed, but I eventually fell asleep. When I woke up the next morning, the spot beside me was empty. Sunlight streamed through the gap in the curtains, warming the room comfortably. I sat up. On the bedside table was a glass of warm water and a note, the handwriting strong and bold. When you're awake, come down for breakfast. Uncle Jong made noodles. He's cleaning up for her, and even prepared warm water. Julian is just too thoughtful. This is what marrying for love looks like. I'm so jealous. Hurry down. I want to see what Julian is doing. I washed up and went downstairs. Julian was sitting at the dining table holding a newspaper. The morning light shone on him, softening the coldness between his brows. Hearing my footsteps, he looked up, his gaze instantly turning gentle. You're awake. Uncle Jong brought out a steaming bowl of noodles. On top was a fried egg, sprinkled with green onions. The aroma filled the air. Clear broth noodles, Evie's favorite. Uncle Jong knows her so well. Julian must have given him special instructions. Getting to eat your favorite food every day. This is true happiness. I sat down and started eating. Julian put his newspaper aside, watching me intently, as if admiring a work of art. Is it good? Delicious. The corners of his lips curled up. As long as you like it. After breakfast, he needed to go to the company. As for me, I had to go to my university to handle my withdrawal procedures. Before my family went bankrupt, I was studying abroad. Things were different now, I obviously couldn't go back. I'll take you. No need? I can go by myself. No. His voice was firm. I'm not at ease letting you go alone. Possessiveness level full. That I'm not at ease line is so sweet I could die. Julian just wants to be with Evie every second. Go, go. Let everyone at the school see how handsome and capable Evie's husband is. In the end, I couldn't refuse and got in his car. The withdrawal process went very smoothly. After all, even though the Sue family was bankrupt, a starved camel is still bigger than a horse. Not to mention, with Julian's name attached, the professors were all very polite. Just as I stepped out of the administration building, I saw a few familiar faces. They were old classmates, including one I used to be fairly close with, Lynn Vivi. Old classmates. They're not here to cause trouble, are they? Looking at their expressions, you know they're not here for anything good. They must have heard about Evie's family's downfall and want to kick her while she's down. Don't be afraid. Julian is right there. When Lynn Vivi saw me, her eyes lit up, and she immediately walked over, a very fake smile on her face. Eve Sue, is it really you? Why did you come back without telling us? Her gaze fell on the person behind me, and a flicker of astonishment and jealousy crossed her eyes. This is my husband. I replied indifferently. Husband. Lynn Vivi was stunned. You're married. Her gaze swept over him, her envy almost palpable. Eve, you sure move fast. Just got back and already married. What does this gentleman do for a living? He looks so young. This type clearly has bad intentions. Her jealousy isn't even hidden. She just wants to dig up info on Julian and try to climb the ladder herself. Dream on. Julian's gaze turned cold. He took a step, shielding me behind him. Julian. Fu Group. Julian. He announced himself directly. Let's see what they say now. Lynn Vivi and the others immediately froze. The smiles vanished from their faces, replaced by pure shock and fear. Julian. As in, the CEO of Fu Group. Her voice started to stammer. She had clearly heard of his reputation. Haha, scared now. Now they know their place. A moment ago they were so arrogant, now they're meek as lambs. It's true what they say, dogs judge people by their clothes. Julian didn't bother giving them another look. He took my hand, his voice indifferent. Let's go. Mr. Fu. Eve, Lynn Vivi quickly called after us, forcing a smile that was uglier than crying. We were good friends before, don't you remember? Good friends. More like fake friends. Now that she sees your status, she wants to cling to you. Too late. Evie, don't even bother. I paused, turned my head to look at her and said flatly, I don't remember. After that, without giving her another chance to speak, I left with Julian. That line was perfect. I don't remember. A fatal blow. Letting her embarrass herself, so satisfying. Another refreshing face slap. In the car, Julian looked at me, his eyes holding a trace of worry. Are you okay? I'm fine. I smiled. Little things like this don't bother me. He reached out and gently stroked my hair, his voice indulgent. Next time you meet people like that, don't waste your breath. Just tell me. I'll handle them. A full-time bodyguard and husband. Julian is truly Evie's exclusive knight. With him around, Evie doesn't have to fear anything. So sweet. I'm jealous again. We returned home. As soon as we walked in, Julian's phone rang. It was his assistant. CEO Fu, it's not good. His voice was frantic. The Pay Group has allied with several other companies and is maliciously acquiring Fu Group's shares. Nathan. He dares to touch the Fu Group. Is he insane? Julian is not someone to be trifled with. He must have been so angry about yesterday that he's acting recklessly. Quick, counter, attack. Show him what courting death means. Julian's expression instantly darkened, his gaze as cold as ice. Got it. He hung up, a murderous aura rolling off him. I have to go to the company. I'll go with you. He looked at me, hesitating slightly. It's chaotic at the company right now. If you go, I'm not afraid. I cut him off. I am your wife. Your business is my business. Exactly. Like birds with paired wings, husband and wife united. Evie is truly capable, not shrinking back at all. Let's go. Let's watch Julian crush them together. My determined gaze reflected in Julian's eyes. He was silent for a few seconds, then nodded slowly. All right. We went to the company. As expected, the atmosphere was extremely tense. Every employee was rushing around, their faces etched with anxiety. Julian walked straight into the conference room. I waited for him in his office. Before long, the sound of furious arguments, and even things smashing, came from the conference room. Julian is angry. Those old foxes on the board must not be listening. Nathan's tactics are so despicable, colluding with internal members. Go, Julian. Sweep them all out. I was a little worried. Just as I was about to check on him, the conference room door suddenly opened. Julian stormed out, his face dark, veins bulging on his forehead. His eyes were filled with a murderous aura, as if he wanted to devour someone. The shareholders following him had their heads bowed, afraid to even breathe loudly. When he saw me, Julian's expression suddenly softened, and the killing intent dissipated. Why did you come out? I was a little worried about you. He walked over and stroked my head, his voice heavy with fatigue. It's fine. Don't worry. He changed his expression the second he saw her. Love truly has magical power. He was so fierce, but now he's gentle just for her. My heart aches for Julian. The pressure must be immense. Is there anything I can help with? No need. He shook his head. It's a small matter. I can handle it. He paused, his voice taking on a commanding tone that allowed no refusal. You wait here. Don't go anywhere. Okay. He turned and went back into the conference room. The door shut tightly, and the sounds of arguing resumed. I sat on the sofa, a sense of unease rising in me. Although the bullet comments said Julian was the powerful final boss, Nathan had allied with so many people. It was definitely a difficult situation. Don't worry. Julian is extremely powerful. He's the main villain. How could he lose to something like this? Nathan is just a small-time clown. He'll be finished sooner or later. Trust Julian. He will definitely solve it. Time ticked by. Finally, the conference room door opened. Julian walked out, his face completely expressionless, making it impossible to tell if he had won or lost. I quickly stood up. How did it go? He walked over and pulled me into his arms, resting his chin on the top of my head. His voice was laced with fatigue but was incredibly reassuring. It's resolved. It's resolved. I knew it. Julian is so domineering. Nathan must have suffered a miserable defeat. I'm finally relieved. I let out a breath and wrapped my arms around him. You worked hard. He held me even tighter. With you, by my side, it's not hard work. Aha, they're hugging. Oh, I must be so exhausted. He needs her comfort. So sweet. This is killing me. He paused for half a beat. In his dark sky eyes, it was as if a star suddenly lit up. Before I could react, he shifted, pinning me beneath him. His hand gripped the back of my neck, with a powerful force that allowed no resistance. Our breaths tangled. The kiss that landed wasn't fierce like I imagined. Instead, it was tentative, exploring, and filled with a desire that had been suppressed for a very long time. They're kissing. They're finally kissing. I've waited for this day for so long. Julian has made progress. He finally dared to be proactive. This kiss is so sweet, both sensual and innocent. Go on, a little harder, don't stop. I closed my eyes, my fingers unconsciously clutching the fabric of his shirt. The kiss gradually deepened, carrying an almost stubborn possessiveness, as if he wanted to devour me completely. Only when I was almost out of breath did he finally ease up. His forehead rested against mine. His breathing was ragged, his dark eyes swirling with intense emotions. Eve Sue. He called my name, his voice hoarse, hiding a barely discernible tremor. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. That line makes me want to cry. Julian is so starved for affection. He's terrified Evie will leave him. Hurry and say it. Reassure him. It's heartbreaking. This man is just so pitiful. I raised my hand, my fingers gently tracing over his eyebrows and the corners of his eyes, places that once held such heavy resentment. Now, there was only vulnerability and insecurity. I won't. I looked straight into his eyes and said seriously, I will not leave you. His pupils contracted sharply, as if he couldn't believe what he just heard. A long moment later, he pulled me tightly into his embrace. He held me so tightly, as if trying to melt me into his very bones. You can't lie to me. If you lie to me, you'll be a puppy. He let out a soft chuckle. The low laughter rumbled through his chest, bringing a strange sense of peace. Haha, if I lie, I'm a puppy. Evie is so adorable. Julian laughed. He actually laughed. This couple is finally stable. I'm so happy. That night, we slept in each other's arms. No more separate beds. His arm was always wrapped tightly around my waist, as if terrified I would leave. I could feel his insecurity, and I could also feel the cautious love he had for me. The man who, in the world's eyes, was an insane and vicious villain, was like an insecure child in front of me. This contrast is adorable. I'm obsessed. Julian is totally a large dog, only obediently wagging his tail for Evie. I hope they stay this happy forever. As for Nathan and Mia Jiang, just don't show up and ruin things. The next morning, I woke up and Julian was gone. On the bedside table was a glass of warm water and a note. When you're up, come downstairs for breakfast. I'm in the study handling some things. His handwriting was still bold and powerful, but it exuded an indescribable gentleness. Warm water again. Julian is so considerate. He's afraid Evie will be thirsty when she wakes up. The perfect husband. I want someone like that too. Hurry and get breakfast. Don't keep your husband waiting. I washed my face and went downstairs. Uncle Zhang had already prepared breakfast, fried eggs, milk, and a sandwich, a balanced meal. Just as I sat down, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I answered. A man's rushed voice came from the other end. Excuse me, is this Miss Eve Sue? This is she. I'm a doctor at the city hospital. We have a patient here named Nathan. You are listed as his only emergency contact. Can you come to the hospital? Nathan. Why is he in the hospital? And the emergency contact is Evie Wu. So shameless. He's definitely faking it, trying to trick Evie into going. Don't go. Absolutely do not go. I frowned slightly. I have no relationship with him. But his condition is critical right now, and he needs a family member to sign off. Does he have no other relatives? We haven't been able to contact any. Even the hospital is in on his act. I'm sure this is Nathan's scheme. Evie, hang up. Don't fall for it. Before I could speak, Julian walked out of the study. He had heard the call. His face instantly darkened. He walked over to me and took the phone directly from my hand. His voice was as cold as ice. Let him die in there. After saying that, he hung up. Haha, Julian is so ruthless. Let him die in there. Beautiful. You have to be this heartless. Dealing with someone like Nathan, being soft-hearted is just harming yourself. Don't you dare soften up. He deserves it. I looked at Julian. The killing intent in his eyes hadn't faded, as if someone had touched his reverse scale. Don't be angry anymore. I reached out and gently smoothed his tightly furrowed brows. I won't go. He took my hand, rubbing his thumb lightly over my fingertips, his voice still holding a trace of displeasure. He sure knows how to pick his moments. He definitely chose this time on purpose, thinking Evie would soften. Dream on. Nathan is such a vile little man. Julian, don't be angry. It's not worth harming your health. Just eat breakfast. Don't let that kind of person ruin your mood. After breakfast, Julian had to go to the company to clean up the mess the pay group left behind. Even though he had acquired the shares, there was still a huge mess to deal with. Be good at home. Don't run around. Okay, call me if anything happens. Alright. He leaned down and placed a soft kiss on my forehead before leaving. A forehead kiss, so sweet. Julian is getting better and better at doting on his wife. He's definitely afraid Nathan's people will try to lure Evie away. Don't worry, Evie isn't that stupid. After he left, I watched TV for a while. I was about to take a nap when the doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. It was Mia Zhang. She was wearing a white dress, her face streaked with tears, looking incredibly pitiful. She's here again. She must be here for Nathan, putting on another pitiful act to get sympathy. Don't open the door. Let her get lost. I didn't open the door, just asked through it. What is it? Sister Eve, can you open the door? I have something really important to tell you. Her voice was choked, sounding aggrieved. Nathan, Mr. Pei is in the hospital. His condition is critical. Please, go see him. It really is about Nathan. Why doesn't she just die? She's clinging like a leech. Evie, ignore her. Just let her stand out there. I'm not going. Sister Eve, how can you be so heartless? Her voice rose. Mr. Pei is like this all because of you. If you don't go, how can your conscience bear it? So shameless. Because of Evie. Didn't he bring this on himself? Her skin is thicker than a city wall. Call the police for harassment. I sneered. Whatever happened to him has nothing to do with me. If you don't leave, I will call the police. Mia Zhang didn't expect me to be so heartless. She froze for a few seconds, then suddenly started pounding on the door. Eve Su, open the door, you bitch. You're the one who harmed Mr. Pei, you venomous woman. You stole everything from him, and now you won't even save him. Has your conscience been eaten by a dog? She's insane. This woman is completely insane. How dare she curse Evie? She's asking to die. Quick, call Julian back. Where's security? This is a villa. How is there no security? The vulgar curses were jarring. I frowned. Just as I was about to call security, scrass, the door was kicked open. Mia Zhang lunged in like a maniac, holding a fruit knife, her eyes filled with venomous hatred. I'm going to kill you. She has a knife. Run, Evie. This woman is completely crazy. Julian, get back here. Your wife is in danger. My eyes widened. I instinctively backed away. Mia Zhang rushed forward, the knife glinting. Just in the nick of time, a black figure flashed past. Thud. Mia Zhang was kicked aside, falling heavily to the ground. The knife clattered away. Julian stood in front of me, his entire body radiating an icy, murderous aura. Julian is back. The savior has arrived. Beat that crazy woman to death. How dare she touch Evie? She's courting death. Afterward, Mia Zhang was dragged away. The villa returned to silence, with only a trace of blood proving it wasn't an illusion. Julian's fingertips trembled slightly as he stroked my cheek. He whispered, "You were scared. It's okay." I threw my arms around him, burying my face in his chest. "Don't worry." He held me tightly, as if trying to merge me into his very being. His voice was hoarse. "I'm sorry. I failed to protect you. My heart is breaking. It's not his fault. Mia Zhang is just insane, but he's blaming himself. Evie, quick, comfort him." After a long time he released me. The killing intent in his eyes slowly faded, replaced by an intense possessiveness. From now on, you are not allowed to leave my sight, not even for a single step. His possessiveness is exploding, but it feels so sweet. He's really terrified of losing Evie. I looked at the stubbornness in his eyes and nodded. Okay. A few days later, we left the city. We traveled everywhere, seeing snow-capped mountains, blue oceans and vast grasslands. The murderous aura around him gradually disappeared and his smiles became more frequent. He held my hand walking on the beach, awkwardly took photos, and even carried me on his back when I was tired. One evening, we sat on a rock by the sea at sunset. He hugged me from behind, his voice deep and gentle. Eve Sue, meeting you is the greatest blessing of my life. I stood on my toes and placed a soft kiss on his lips. Me too. He froze, then let out a soft laugh before leaning down to kiss me more deeply. In the twilight, our shadows stretched long. I knew our story was just beginning. Oh my God, perfection. They must be happy forever. This ship is locked, and I'm throwing the key into the ocean. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this sweet romance story, please like, share, and subscribe to Sweet Cherry Novel for more heartwarming tales. See you in the next story.